Stuttgart has been a host city for 2 different World Cups, but tonight it will be the home for yet another tune-up for the 4-time World Cup champions, Germany. We'll take a look at the starting 11 for Germany. 4 changes from their thrilling win over Switzerland in Basel a few days ago.
And for the Ghanaians, they make just 2 changes. In goal, Benjamin Asare comes in. Kojo Apong comes into that center back position.
To one of the 3 Switzerland goals. It's getting out of trouble. And switching the point of attack is Stieler. Third studying it through. It's Kai Havertz peeling it back. Good opportunity, and it's just wide from Voltemata. And the first sign of life from Germany in the attacking third tonight.
We saw them bleed goals against Austria. This is good movement off the ball from Kai Havertz, and this should be in the back of the net. At the very least, hitting the target. Nick Voltemata is just kind of a reflection of what his time in the Premier League has been like. Hasn't been as sharp or hasn't been as efficient, but in these positions, you're inside the 18. Nice little cutback there from Kai Havertz. That's sending Germany on their way. But again, concerns from Ghana defensively. They've shifted to a back 5 after bleeding 5 goals against Austria, but still leaving so many holes defensively. Their fullback in that last situation, and wingback Derek Cohn just gets caught ball watching.
And here is Ghana exposed again, and that's a rough challenge along the back line for Ghana. And it is going to be just a yellow card for Jonas Ejete. As Kai Havertz was clear out on goal, he actually might have been offside, although that angle there shows that he was on. And you just wonder if this was a major tournament, Mo, if he would have potentially sent off. It certainly favors the left-footed Kai Havertz here. But it will be Wirtz, and it's just wide. It actually looked like that might have came off the post, and Liverpool man just inches away from it.
Well, Florian Wirtz at the moment is a man just oozing confidence, and this is such a well-taken set piece. The technique just up and over the wall. Watch the ball, not a ton of spin on it. It kind of has a downwards trajectory as well.
It's out of their normal positions, and think about Joseph Paintsil and Haki Williams, just to name a couple of guys who are unavailable for the Black Stars tonight. Kimmich, teasing ball in behind the back line. That's Jurecki who gets a touch to it. And the flag is up.
Just look at the top of your screen. Nathaniel Brown had just leaned, just started slightly early.
David Raum plays for Leipzig and has been playing there for several years. Big challenge over on the left wing of Germany's attack, and it falls for Kimmich. In behind for Serge Gnabry, and that's a awkward header in the direction of their own goal coming from Alexander Djiku, the Spartak Moscow man, and it's another set-piece opportunity for Julian Nagelmann's side.
Getting runners in behind. Just look at Serge Gnabry's run. Starting as a left winger, but just drifting more central. And
one of the 4 goals that Germany scored. Gnabry makes that run out of the midfield. Something from the training ground here for Germany. Kimmich trying to stand up towards the back stick. It's a free header. Germany wins the first. Back across. And the shot is blocked in front before it could reach Benjamin Asare. As Ghana trying to break quickly through Prince Adu and company.
This is another look at that corner kick, and Ghana just really struggling to get pressure to the ball. Good block in the end there.
Kimmich making his 108th cap for Germany tonight. Now Kai Havertz. Stieler. Havertz. Have to settle for the corner.
It's quite the challenge there from Thomas Partey.
Stuttgart's own Angelo Stieler to take the corner. Asare off of his line. 2 strong fists away. Kimmich. Clever little ball. Here's Pascal Gross. Over the head of Voltemata, and then swiped out by Jonathan Tah out of play. But it has been all Germany inside of the first 10 minutes.
Secondary run. clever ball from Pascal Gross, just clips it up, puts it into a dangerous area. Jonathan Tah when it turns.
That's more like it for the Man City attacker, but can't find the finished product. And then a brief slip from Kai Havertz, and the footing on the field has been really difficult as the rain continues to come down rather steadily. That's Ayew on the turn. Got the cross away. Semenyo was waiting for it at the edge of the penalty area. That was Prince Adu, who was also in the neighborhood, and then a first-time effort. Always going wide, and that's the first time that Alexander Nubel has even come close to seeing the ball in his direction.
Patient build-up, using their width. Now the final action is one of really great ambition.
Being exposed in transition by high-quality sides. Florian Wirtz on the turn. Has drifted over to the right side of the field. Now Kai Havertz. Voltemata. Oh, it wasn't a bad idea whatsoever. Looked like that was Alexander Djiku who was able to get a touch to it before it could reach Gnabry. Havertz. Kojo Apong able to deny the delivery, and despite the fact that Ghana's been on their heels for the entirety of the 22.5 minutes, this is much better defending when it's gotten to this point than what we saw a few days ago against Austria.
It's some good last-ditch defending from Ghana, but again, I want you to just focus on how many bodies centrally Germany are playing with.
Gnabry thought about it initially, and Benjamin Asare was more of a passenger on that strike than anything.
When they can, and they can change the tempo, they want to play quick football. They want to play fast. They want to play one-touch football, and part of the way to do that is to have numbers close to each other. So that last play comes off because they're able to play that entry ball into Voltemade, and he has runners straight away, making that run in behind.
Kai Havertz once more. He certainly likes the matchup with Kojo Apong, but Apong has stood his ground. 21-year-old originally from Accra, plays for Nice in Ligue 1.
Well, until Germany make the pay from one of these corner kicks, Ghana will be content to...
The captain, Jordan Ayew, on top of the corner, clips it towards the back stick. Partey wins the first header, Semenyo up for the second, and then eventually hooked away by Gnabry. Urenke will go back for Ayew. Takes the first delivery, now slips it through. It's a great looking ball. Semenyo latches it across, and Joshua Kimmich able to clear it away before it could reach anybody in a white kit on the back stick. And here's Voltemata. And always too far for Florian Wirtz. And it's taken 27 minutes, but Ghana, it looks like, have settled in.
A moment like that, Jordan Ayew was a catalyst for it, showing a little bit of patience on the ball. And that's a great ball in from Antoine Semenyo. Good pace on it. It's just begging for someone to get across that 6-yard box.
Engaged in any physical duel.
I'll refrain from giving you my thoughts about his participation in the game today.
Kimmich. Delicious looking ball. Asare got a touch to it. It's loose in front. Still pinballing around. It's Jonathan Tah. He sends it over the crossbar. Looking for his second goal in 2 games. It sat up ever so nicely for the... And it will be a corner.
Nagelman on the sideline is just trying to figure out how this hasn't found the back of the net. Asare is a little bit late off his line, but in the end, it proves to be.
Certainly a little surprised that Germany haven't been able to find their way through just yet. Here's another look at that Asare save on Jonathan Tah. He just barely got a foot to it.
It's just a game of pinball. Everyone just throwing their bodies on the line, and Asare just gambles. Love this ref cam view. Gives you a sense of, one, the difficult task that a referee has to stay in control.
And Mo, back to your original point about Ghana being able to find a little bit of joy in Germany, perhaps being exposed a little bit after not having been able to convert on the few chances that they have been able to create. That continues to be the concern for German supporters heading into this World Cup, as that ball in behind is a delicious one for Voltemata. Leaves it for Florian Wirtz. But the offside flag is up. It was on the initial run from Voltemata. And that'll deny Florian Wirtz his 5th goal involvement in 2 games.
But I want you to watch the secondary run. So Voltemata does a good job. He's trying to stretch that back line. You can see he's slightly ahead of that last center back. But it's the awareness of Florian Wirtz. Seeing where the space is to come and support the big man up top. Takes his shot really, really well. It's unfortunate to have it. You get a chance. It's a great view of it. You'll see the offside. It's, I mean, it is a tight call, but that's a better image there.
Comparatively, some of the other lines that we've seen drawn in world football over the past few months, it's a bit more glaring than the others, but that they're chanting here at the MHP Arena, the Stuttgart striker who has been in magnificent form and currently has the club in 3rd place in the Bundesliga as he gets his first half warm-up in. Here's Brown. And Asari wasn't able to get there, and there was no run being made at the back post as Gross trying to keep it in and avoid the challenge, only able to do the former.
If you're playing against, let's say, Spain, your France's, your Portugal's,
Argentina.
Yeah, Argentina's, right. When you concede these moments in transition, they're going to punish you. And if you can continuously concede those chances, they're going to punish you on a repeated basis. And so then the pressure really becomes, can your Wirtz, can your Gnabry's, and guys on the pitch today, Havertz, Voltemata, can they finish off chances to give you that go-ahead?
Here's Wirtz again, weaving his way through, and a block in front coming from Jonas Ajete. And Semenyo finding an outlet in Jordan Ayew.
Oh, he should have gave it to him. Semenyo was in there.
4th official indicating just 1 minute of stoppage time at the minimum, added on to this first half.
But to your point, yeah, it begs the question, is it worth the gamble? Are they doing a check?
They might be checking to see if that was a handball inside of the penalty area on that cutback from Florian Wirtz. And Stuart Atwell, the referee for tonight's friendly, is going to head over to the monitor. Then that's Jonas Ajete. It looked like it had come off of either his back or his side at first glance, but clearly VAR wanting Atwell to go take a look.
Now the question is that arm going towards the ball? Is he extending that arm away from his body, Ajete? And from that image, it looks like but it's also kind of reactionary to the challenge.
But it is going to be a penalty.
The player making himself bigger. Now watch his right arm. Watch Ajete's right arm. Initially it's tucked in, then he he motions towards the ball. And that's where the referee's making the decision. To me, it's a little bit harsh because as he's turning his body, it almost feels like that's a natural.
But it's what you said. He's almost popping it back out again. Kai Havertz scores with calm and with ease. And Germany get their deserved goal at the end of this first half.
Germany definitely had to be patient, and it took it to stoppage time in this first half for them to break the deadlock, and it's Kai Havertz from the penalty spot. Calm and composed as you like. The Arsenal man steps up to get his 21st international goal in a first half that saw Germany very dominant in possession, but just lacking that clinical finish. They get the clinical edge from the penalty spot. Ghana don't feel hard done. This is 2 games in a row now where they've conceded. That's the ideal pairing. But just going back on that comment that I just said there about the reaction from Nagelsmann in response to Schlotterbeck's performance in the first match, it's a chance for him to give himself more minutes on the pitch to show that he has a quality to consistently deliver on these big occasions and on the international stage.
Florian Wirtz making a run in behind Caleb Jurenke. And Wirtz somehow keeps it alive for Nathaniel Brown. He's got time and space to deliver, and the header coming in from Thomas Partey. was almost on frame, and then
Ghanaian back line, and it's just reactionary.
Leonard Carl licking up with Wirtz. Sent in towards the back stick, available for Antonio Rudiger. And it was blocked before it could reach Benjamin Asare once more. And last-ditch defending for Ghana.
Ghana got to find a way to be more than second best in the box. Too many times.
And that repress again, just suffocating Ghana. And this looks eerily similar to what we saw for the first half hour or so. In the first 45 minutes, clever little dummy, Nathaniel Brown for Pascal Gross, and couldn't quite open up his hips. And easy work in the end for Benjamin Asare.
This is a clever ball here from Nathaniel Brown. And it's the perfect way. This is the end of that sequence from Germany where creating space to allow secondary runners to run into that space. In the end, Pascal Gross just can't wrap his foot around the ball in the way that he wants.
And on the other end, Antoine Semenyo on his way. Sizing up Antonio Rudiger, great matchup, peels it back across, and that was the best chance of the night so far for Ghana. And the Black Star faithful thought that they had their equalizing goal. It was Prince Adu who was making that run at the near post.
Watch Prince Adu's run. This is a good opening and transition for Semenyo, and he's 1v1, and his thought process should be what it is. Take this defender on 1v1, get a ball across the box. But you see Prince Adu's run. He, this time, gets across the near post. And Slaughterbeck just gets a little deflection on it, but that's...
Voltemata, clever touch, Gross. Leonard Carl for Voltemata, and it's off the crossbar. And the follow-up chance is denied. That was Alexander Djiku, and that was one of the more scintillating moves we've seen from Germany all night.
Forward play, really slick football. Clever movement. The initial touch from Voltemata that opens up the game, and then it's a free header. It's a free header that he finds himself in the end. Looks like he has Asare beat, but just can't sneak that under the crossbar. You get a look here from the referee's cam. Leonard Carl on that right-hand side came into the game at halftime, does a good job with his combination play.
What was an extremely quick start in Magpie country has turned into a bit of a struggle for Voltemata, but again, this was one of the best moves we've seen from Germany all night. And that referee view gave you just an indication of how much bigger Nick Voltemata is than everybody else on the field as well.
But you saw in that sequence, Voltemata can't believe he doesn't finish from the free header. To really announce themselves in another way. We've seen him at the club level do brilliant things, and
Leonard Carl, it's on full display, and the nutmeg as well, and he wins the free kick. Leonard Carl, stop that.
Just 18 years old. It's a defensive pressure, and then having the guile to just take on 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders, and then to finish it off by drawing the foul with a little cheeky nutmeg. Disrespectful. But just playing always with his head up, Leonard Carl.
Derek Kuhn, Union Berlin man, on top of the set piece, finding Jordan Ayew in space. Tries to put it on frame, and looked like it might have taken a deflection. Still free Stuart Atwell.
This is straight off the training ground. You see the Ghanaian players all split and draw away the German defenders. Jordan Ayew just threw a slew of bodies, and it's off the foot there. Watch the extended foot there from Voltemata. That's what takes that shot from being all those changes from Germany's standpoint. Joshua Kimmich, he's now playing centrally.
Fudic. Decent looking ball in. Leonard Carl cushions it down. It's Goretzka, and Voltemata actually got in the way. Last touch coming off of the big Newcastle striker. Good for Benjamin Asare.
Well, Joshua Kimmich, he's now playing centrally alongside Leon Goretzka, and Goretzka will have freedom to be that number 8.
Instead, it's a 4-man wall for the Black Stars with Kimmich standing over it. It will be Raum, and that's a decent-looking effort that had the interest of Asare for a moment.
Well, we've seen 2 decent set pieces from Germany in this match, but this one is a lot more wide than the first glance told. But we saw the one in the first half. He struck the post.
So Prince Adu is going to come off probably a better performance than what we saw against Austria several days ago. And Fatawu will come on. Actually ousted by Spain. Much more like it from the Germans after getting grouped in the last 2 World Cups. Kimmich. Figured why not. Shouts that it was potentially a teammate. That was snuffed out pretty quickly, or perhaps somebody who works at the hotel, but there was about $20,000 in cash that was taken along with a number of luxury watches, and something like that could certainly bring about some uneasiness within a camp while you're so far away from your respective club and your actual home. As Kuhn turns the corner, good chance here, and Fatawu scores. Germany picked apart, and Abdul Fatawu has been on the field for just several minutes, and Ghana are level in Stuttgart.
Despite Germany's dominance for large spells in this game, the vulnerability was there defensively. Such that if Ghana could just execute and be clinical with one of these chances, there was a moment to be had. And Cohn in this second half, he's been good, man. He's been more adventurous getting forward, but this time he delivers that ball with quality. The movement from Jordan Ayew to draw a defender, watch Ayew there, running across, so that forces the defenders to have to be honest, they can't step out and press. And it's the new man into the game, Abdul Fatawu, who finishes off purely with that finish. Good strike, picks out the far post, and you see the reaction in the fans. After an incredibly after an incredible defeat and humbling moment against Austria, this is a great response to get themselves back into the game against Germany.
From Kai Havertz right before halftime, and most recently, Abdul Fatawu of Leicester City. As that was angled towards Voltemata, falls for Karl. Voltemata, heavy first touch coming off his chest, and Dennis Undav is saying that wasn't meant for you.
But once again, it's slick football. Good combination play between Undav and
Kimmich. Undav brings it down beautifully, but there was too much help in the form of Caleb Jurenke.
So for Ghana, they've got to find a better balance of when to try to play direct.
Leonard Karl slicing up the Ghanaian defense, leaves it for Leroy Sané. On rushing is Kimmich, and he got that all wrong, sends it halfway back to Berlin.
Leonard Karl does incredibly well here. Solo run, which is brilliant. As we take a look at the goal, the equalizing goal. Cohn on that on that left-hand side just skates by his defender, but now he has a presence of mind to pick his head up. Really well-weighted cutback ball. And Abdul Fatawu delivers that blow that gets his team back on level pegging. But I was just going to say, from a Ghanaian standpoint, they just got to find that balance of when you try to play over that back line. And
taking on Finland in Mainz, and then the United States in Chicago at Soldier Field for their final 2 matchups prior to the World Cup. As Jurenke gets stuck in, but got too much of Juric there. Brown whips it in, and Goretzka was there, but always difficult to steer on frame.
But that last point you bring up is also part of the process, and they're making wholesale changes. They have a roster to announce. They need to know what guys they can depend on. There was no real complaints. This would prove to be a pretty big result for Ghana. Currently ranked, what, 72nd based off FIFA rankings. Germany 10th in the world.
Sané gets it right back, tries to have a hit. Goretzka, Leonard Karl, and it sends it wide. Well, the 18-year-old was thinking perhaps that was going to be his first international goal at the senior level.
Now there's some desperate lunges being thrown here from the Ghanaian standpoint. And Germany wants a foul here for the late contact. But I'm not having that. Linnea Carl just tries to get the strike off with the outside of his left foot. Once again, we have the luxury of seeing the referee's perspective and how he witnesses these plays as they unfold. Cut back from Kai Havertz. He's just outside the 6. It just never really makes the contact clean. Doesn't even hit the target. It drags it wide. And it's a very similar play now that gets Ghana back into this match.
Schlotterbeck thought about delivery. Rudiger. Sonnet. Galatasaray man has been lively since coming on. Kimmich. Great little ball over the top, pushing down. It's Undav! Well, how fitting is that for the Stuttgart man? The recipient of a silky smooth German move. What he does best in this stadium.
Well, it's the man in form in his home stadium where he plays his club football who delivers the devastating blow. Marginal and very tight as to where Undav stayed in the onside position, but it's Leroy Sané, the second half sub, who plays the architect with the assist. Just puts it into the pathway of Undav, who does so well to get just enough on it. Now watch this little header. Little delicate header into the pathway. The first touch, body positioning from Undav keeps the defender out of reach. And it's the man who's in form who puts his side back up 2-1.
And here's the lines being drawn to confirm that Undav was onside.
Well, after the referee makes the decision that it's onside, but it's Undav who delivers the clinical blow. What a moment for him to celebrate in front of his home support. It's a big goal for Germany.
Trying to work with Linnea Carl.
But that's the luxury that Germany has. When you talk about making wholesale changes, yes, they have their frailties and they have their question marks defensively, but to be able to bring...
Here's Carl fancying a hit and straight into the hands of Asari.
But to be able to bring that kind of quality off the bench, a Leroy Sané, Deniz Undav, guys that can come in and be game changers. Carl's looked incredibly light. Instead of trying to force a header on target, he just heads it into the pathway for Undav. Oh, wow.
Given away by Leon Goretzka. Antoine Semenyo. Is there a late equalizer here for Ghana? For now, the answer is no. Ghana try to muster up one last opportunity to really put Germany on their heels. Or will it be Germany with an exclamation point? Undav, Fjuric. Raum, back for Fjuric. Kimmich. Undav brings it down. And that's going to do it full time. Germany winners over Ghana by a score of 2-1. They win both of their games in this international window. A one-goal win over Switzerland, now a one-goal win over the Black Stars, who certainly gave them all that they could handle.